What is up, everybody? Josh here again, and today we have an Icarus Week 35 update video. This week, they added the Alterations Bench, item attachments, and more. Let's get into it, shall we? So, Icarus Week 35, the attachment system, Icarus Week 35 update attachment systems. This week, 2 new alteration benches, 25 new exchangeable items and attachments, and the usual bunch of changes and fixes. We're excited to be introducing our new attachment system this week for our Icarus Week 35 update, giving you a whole new way to personalize your gameplay by customizing your melee weapons and tools with valuable new attachments. 2 new benches, the Alteration Bench at Tier 3 and Advanced Alteration Bench at Tier 4, will provide your workshop for crafting and equipping 25 attachments available for a range of your melee weapons and tools. Designed for repeat use, items can have attachments equipped and unequipped and shared around, and provide some basic and creative perks, from gold collection buffs through to electric shock inflictions. Attachment and customization benches. 2 new attachment benches have been added to the blueprint tree. Two new attachment benches have been added to the blueprint tree. The Alteration Bench at Tier 3 and the Advanced Alteration Bench at Tier 4. These benches open up a whole new world of possibilities for customizing your melee weapons and tools, allowing you to craft specific attachments and then apply them to valid items to add valuable improvements, specializations, and benefits. The attachments provide damage, speed, performance, and other unique perks to add a punch to give you an advantage over your foe. The Tier 3 Alteration Bench can craft basic attachments, while the Advanced Alteration Bench offers more advanced recipes as well when unlocked, but requires electricity to do so. Each bench does require its own blueprint recipe, but attachments are grouped under a single recipe in the blueprint tree to unlock. The bench is split into 2 parts, left side being the space you could craft specific attachments, and the right being the altercation station where you apply the attachments. This creates a single workstation with dual purpose. So for your attachment options, you have 2 11 set attachments per bench and 3 special attachments as well. So as far as the attachments options go, they're kicking off the new alteration system with 25 attachments available to craft, 11 based, 11 upgraded, and 3 special. These attachments give you melee damage, attack speed, prime meat, leather gathered increase, carcass harvesting attachment, a felling, gold, copper, platinum, reaping, and titanium. With the Advanced Altercation Bench, you get the advanced version of all these as well. There are also 3 special attachments that can be crafted and equipped at the Tier 4 Advanced Alteration Bench. These are as follows: the bleed attachment, poison, and electric shock attachment. While these are the first attachments available to play on day 1, we are looking in the future to plan and release more crafting and attachment systems, so don't forget to pass on your feedback to them for new and creative ways to personalize your experience. So, valid items for attachment. So there's only certain items that are valid to be customizable right now. Those are currently melee weapons and tools, and only ones that are crafted at Tier 2, 3, and 4. This means nothing that's crafted in your inventory can be modded. Tier 1 and meta items being workshop items, are not currently available for customization. Attachments that are created will specifically in the description tell you which items they can be attached to, and which are invalid so you don't actually give your knife like a gold boost or something like that. Each item can hold 1 attachment slot at the moment, but can be removed and swapped out for a different attachment at will. Here they go on to say about the attachment UI and recipe, stating that there is basic melee attachments and advanced melee attachments, for example, to unlock correlating recipes respectively, and go on to show kind of a little bit about the UI on the crafting benches, which we'll show you here briefly. As we said in Tier 3, you'll see that the Alteration Bench is now available to learn, and also the tool attachment pack. You'll also notice on Tier 4 that the Advanced Alteration Bench is available for research, as well as the Advanced Tool Attachment Pack. And as you can see here on the left hand side, we have the Advanced Alteration Bench hooked up to electricity, and the right hand side we have the Tier 3 Alteration Bench, which is hooked up to nothing because it requires nothing. So as you can see, there's 2 different sections to each bench. The left hand side is the area where you craft all the attachments in game. Attachments can have various abilities. Melee damage increases melee damage by 10%. Advanced melee does 20%. Attack speed gives you 10%. Advanced gives you 20%. Prime meat attachment gives you 20% yield from butchering animals and a 5% chance to find an additional rare meat when skinning. and it's 30 and 15 with the advanced version. So basically it looks like every single item has its regular and its advanced form. Of course, the advanced form requires the regular attachment to be crafted and then also added the additional materials. Such on the platinum attachment, it requires platinum, carbon fiber, and the platinum attachment. Now, there was 3 extra that we didn't know or didn't see anything about, and that's the bleed. Bleed requires platinum, carbon fiber, and raw meat. Poison requires platinum, carbon fiber, and poison sac. And electric shock is gold, carbon fiber, and platinum. 40% chance to cause electric shock on hit with the attacks. So we'll go ahead and craft us a melee damage attachment, and then we're going to craft us a tier 2. So the advanced melee damage attachment will grant impact 2 when attached to an item and gives you an additional 20% melee damage, which is not too bad. And then we're going to craft us an advanced gold attachment, and we're going to throw this on our platinum pick we have here. So to put the attachment on our platinum pick we have here, we're going to go to the right hand side. The left hand side crafts items, the right hand side puts them on. We're going to go and take our tool and put it up in this little box here. Choose our attachment, which is going to be the advanced gold attachment. And it'll give goldsmith 2 to this item, which gives it a 40% yield to mining gold. We're going to click on alter. And now, as you can see, this platinum pick now has a goldish hue to it. And it says strong, high yield, extremely accurate. That's the description for platinum. But down below the mining radius and the yield for mining, you'll now see goldsmith 2. 40% yield for mining gold. It'll now give you an additional 40% for mining gold. And this goes for the regular tier 3 alteration bench as well. It does the same thing. On the left hand side, you craft the attachments. And of course, on the right hand side, you just attach them to your weapon. The advanced alteration bench does require 1500 power for it to run, and does require you to go tier 4. It's crafted in the fabricator for 30 steel, 4 glass, 10 electronics, 25 concrete mix, and 8 steel screws. And I don't believe I mentioned it, but we do have on the left-hand side of the advanced alteration bench, you can make the special attachments for the poison, electric shock, and bleed. Also, titanium attachment. The titanium attachment seems like it might be a really good attachment to have, especially the advanced titanium attachment, which will yield an extra 40% titanium when you put it on a pickaxe and give you the titanium smith 2 buff. So that would be a great way to yield extra titanium, is with the titanium attachment 1 or titanium attachment 2 for the extra 40%. Titanium attachment 1, which is titanium smith 1 for 25% yield of mining titanium. As stated, you could take the attachment off of an item by putting the item into the slot and hitting remove. After a short crafting period, you'll see that the attachment has been removed from the item. And now we can put something else on it, like melee. So for example, if we try to put the prime meat attachment on a pickaxe, for example, which is higher yield of butchering animals and chance to find additional meat, it will say down here at the very bottom, invalid attachment. For example, here's a carcass harvesting attachment, creature bones, and gives more yield for skinning fur, and you can't put it on a platinum pickaxe, as you can see. So it would only let you put attachments on items that you can actually put the attachment on. Attachments cannot be removed from items unless you're at the right-hand side of the alteration bench. So we're going to kind of demonstrate what each knife does and what kind of debuffs they give. Okay, now try it. Hit me till you do the bleed effect. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, do you got the right knife on? Wow, it's not even doing bleed damage. Take either 1, take it forever to proc, or 2, it's just broken. There we go. That's the electroshock. Yours slowed. Try, do it again. Yeah. Oh.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into into it because they would never understand.
Again? Boy, that ticks off too. Please don't hit me. One more time. Okay. And the poison says, poison. 5% movement speed and drains your HP, looks like by 4. And actually lasts a super long time. I'm about ready to go down. She's got a gun! And of course, guys, we have the changelog. For some reason this week they didn't call it the changelog. We'll go through the most important things on the changelog. Mostly this week it was the alteration benches, the 2 benches, and the alteration attachments. As you can see here, they added the item slot, UI, all the good stuff that has to go with the alteration bench and the attachments here in the patch notes. They added a separate loot entry to buffalo carcasses, allowing them to grant more meat than before. They added a sandworm boss icon and added it to the map database. And going on to their fixed section of the patch notes, you can now place the brazier and rustic bench outside. They fix arrows despawning in animals before players can collect them. And most of your projectiles now will be available for collection from the corpses after you skin or carry them. Here's an interesting fix that they added this week, guys. They fixed where you can't left click and cancel skinning now. The only way to actually cancel skinning while you're doing so is to hit the interact button again to cancel it. And it looks like they did it twice. I'm not quite sure if they proofread their patch notes, but it looks like they keep adding duplicates in it. That was last week as well. Here's something else. They fixed an issue causing drinking water to prevent swimming applying to the wet modifier and players being set on fire, but players can still use water skins to douse themselves by using them from their hotbar. And they updated the logic so that you can retain drinking water, causing fire to be extinguished, but modifying the cooling drink modifier so the wet modifier can now be applied as intended. This means that players will be able to both drink water and get the cooling modifier, and also get the wet modifier from entering water, which was previously blocked unintentionally. Here's another one that we noticed last week. They fixed an issue causing the deep vein orders highlight text to only show for the host. It now shows for everyone. So now you could see, whether you're host or not, what the deep ore vein is. And we'll see if we can mention something here in the future content section. Working a little bit more on swamps, it looks like. They are adding the Icarus crossbow to the game, which would be quite interesting to see what that looks like. As it says here, not available in the workshop yet. Grassland rocks and tundra rocks. Skinned Larkwell suit with decals. And the last thing we'll mention here is they are adding a base implementation for the MOA. And what is a MOA, you may ask? Well, Google says a MOA is a prehistoric bird, kind of like an ostrich. So maybe they're going to add birds into the grasslands? I don't know. We'll see. And guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing to the channel helps support the channel, so please consider doing so if you haven't already. And hopefully, we'll see you next time. Peace.